So it's kind of coming to me as I'm standing here making my coffee, but um, the time has come for the people who have rehearsed their lines, who have done the shadow work, who have gone through the trauma. If you have been putting out videos, you've been sharing your stories from a trauma response component, it's time to change your message to our lessons learned. We have to get out of that victim hero mindset and kind of come back to a normalcy of this is what I've learned. If life is a lesson and if Earth is a school, and you're giving me a report, because that's what everybody's doing in these videos, right? We're reporting. We're standing up in front of an audience and we're saying, here's the message I'm conveying. And so what message are you conveying? That's the question I'm asking you to ask yourself. If your message is one of trauma, one of a sinking sensation, you're still reverberating the shadow work, it's good to get it out one time. It's good to share what you're processing. It's good to tell your story to the right audience, to the right people, to the right place. And once you've worked through that, on the other side of that is a rebirthing process, and now you've hit creation. And now you've created, because now you've put yourself out there, you're creating something. And it's hard to withdraw and recreate yourself in a new creative process and change that trauma into growth. And part of that is through our lessons learned. And then we start to express ourselves differently through our heart space. And it's like you're stopping the car, all of a sudden, and you slam on the brakes and you do like this whole car spin thing, and you're trying to re-get your groove on, so you fishtail a little bit, but eventually you start going straight. You get it in gear, you start going straight again. So it's not a clean, smooth process coming up, through your spiritual growth, going through your ascension process, if you will. I'm not sure the best terminology these days, but going through your ascension process as you are coming into yourself, your own knowing, your own being, as you transcend through the different stages. And if we look at Jung, at the archetypes and through the lessons learned, the culmination of history has been a massive dissemination of people just sharing the message, but it's only the message that they're receiving, and that message that they're receiving has a message for the people who are receiving it. And so if you're not sharing your message, as it were, then people wouldn't be able to receive that. But at some point, our message, if we want the collective vibration to shift, our messages as individuals, as part of the collective, needs to shift. So it's a whole mindset that I want to just probably not the first person to say it, but bring it into a different awareness, that when we are in our creative process and sharing that into the world, even if it is our shadow being expressed, so it becomes imagery that is not mainstream. It is of the darker essence, or that which is lacking refinement in the era of, what's popular, so the shadow self is just what is hidden away from the light, what is seen on the regular. We all have a part of ourselves that's shadow, and we express that sometimes through our creativity. And when we do, it's not going to be necessarily what is popular or what is cultural. It might be very countercultural, but it can become mainstream cultural. We saw that with a lot of, the grunge rock music, that's what comes to mind. But anyway, I'm digressing. Finding your purpose towards sharing your message is to shift as a collective away from the trauma responses and bring that message into what I have learned. We are shifting the dialogue here as we go into the new, and we are, what am I learning? What am I focusing on? Where am I headed? And that's going to be what we are driving ourselves with at this time. I hope this message reaches everyone that needs to. Peace and love. Happy days.